Dog Experience, episode 6. I'm one of your hosts, Alpha Dog, and we have our co-host, Corey. Corey, how we doing on week 6?
Alpha, what's going on, man? Excited. It's so crazy how fast the NFL season goes. Talking earlier today about it, it just seems like once they get on a roll, it just keeps on going, and it's hard to believe that it's week 6. Really excited to see some of these games. Tell you what, the Niners are legit.
Dude, we'll get into that on the show when we get on them in the show, but man, they have been scary. Looks like they're the best team I've seen in at least 15 years. They're just a fully complete football team, but we'll get into that. Corey, any games that surprised you over the weekend? Any top stories that caught your eye?
The injury bug. I mean, that was massive. No Justin Jefferson for a month. James Conner, the running back for Arizona, is on the IR. A-Chain from Miami, that's a big blow. So, I mean, there were some serious injuries. Those were the biggest storylines for me, was just the injuries in terms of teams that are in the playoff hunt or just trying to get in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we found out how good some teams are and if some teams are legit or not. What do you think of the Cowboys before we break it down? I mean, losing 42-10 on the road to San Francisco, not a great showing by that Cowboys team, not a great showing by Dak. Seems like it's a common theme when he versus a good defense. Do you think that trend's going to continue, or do you think he'll get it right?
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are in trouble, Alpha. I think Dak just isn't the guy. He could be a great guy. He could be a great team guy, but he has shown time and time again he can't win the big game for the Cowboys. 3 interceptions, 2 of them were absolutely atrocious.
Awful.
The offense is struggling. Tony Pollard isn't the running back right now that I think everybody was expecting him to be after last year's breakout. They just lost Van Der Esch at the middle linebacking position, so that's a big blow. This defense is struggling. I know we're going to talk about the game against the Chargers, but yeah, I think Dallas can be in some trouble here, especially with the NFC being as good as it is. Obviously, the Eagles and Niners top dog at 5-0, but you've got some other teams in the mix that are going to make it a bit tougher for Dallas if they keep that type of play going.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the New York Football Giants are going to win the Super Bowl. Let's get it rolling. Let's open this week's breakdown. Made in the back. What do we got? Broncos and Chiefs. The NFL absolutely loves us. We keep getting these phenomenal primetime games. It's another terrible game here. Corey, what are you taking on the Chiefs side? There's nothing you can take on the Broncos side, right?
Absolutely not. I was flip-flopping. I was actually thinking about going on the air today and taking the Chiefs spread, despite them not covering large spreads historically with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, because this Denver team is so bad. But I'm going to play a little bit safer. I like the under at 47.5. This Denver team is terrible. I mean, They might be right there with your New York Giants, Alpha, as 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. And I don't mean that, to get you riled up, but that's where they're at right now. I mean, Sean Payton has brought nothing to the table. I think there's some dysfunction in this Broncos locker room. And I'm just hoping that the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes don't light it up too much. I'm hoping for like a 37-3 game tonight, and we cash in on the under. But the good thing, and the way I think this game script is going to go in our favor, is that this is going to be a game where the Chiefs will be able to take a large lead tomorrow night and just run the ball. They don't like to run up the score. We've seen that before. Pat Mahomes slid at the 3-yard line against the Jets. So I think that this can help us in tomorrow's game, not tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah, I see it the same way you do. I think this is a clear underplay here, under 47.5. You take a look at this Chiefs team. They don't really put up a ton of points on everyone, and they probably won't have Travis Kelce. He's coming in as a true questionable. If he does go, I don't think he's going to be anywhere near full strength. He's a huge part of that offense, and we've seen when he's not there, this offense really struggles. They have to rely on receivers like Kadarius Toney. Shout out to the New York Giants for getting rid of him. Guy is not a great receiver, and they don't have a ton of weapons on the offensive side besides Travis Kelce. Interesting to me, Mecole Hardman looks like he's about to get dropped by the Jets. Could there be a reunion in Kansas City? I could see it. I definitely think they can use Hardman, and Hardman's not getting a play with the Jets right now. But for this game, I'm all over the under 47.5, one of my favorite plays of the week. Man in the back, let's keep it rolling. We are fired up here. We have 55 people in the chat. Any questions, let us know. But Corey, let's dive into your Tennessee Titans hosting the Baltimore Ravens. What you got?
Yeah, well, I do know these 2 teams do not like one another, and these 2 teams also left a lot of points on the scoreboard in their respective games. So I think these two teams, I think will get on the over here. That's where I'm leaning, over 41. It's in London. I know that they got to go across the pond and deal with all that travel, but the Titans have stalled in the red zone this year. I think they're going to regress positively. And Lamar Jackson could have had a huge game and have blown out the Steelers if it wasn't for his wide receivers dropping 7 passes, with 2 of them being automatic touchdowns. Baltimore has that weapon to take advantage of this poor Titans secondary. And the Titans offense, they are starting to click, be more creative. No, we're not seeing the Derrick Henry as of old. They've got that good rookie running back in Spears gobbling up some of the carries, but the DeAndre Hopkins and Ryan Tannehill connection seems to be working right now. I like this offense for Tennessee to get things going. I think this is going to be a 24-20 kind of game, 21, in that range where both teams are in the low 20s. I'm going to take the over.
The Ryan Tannehill connection is helping out this Titans offense. Things I never thought I'd hear on this show. Tannehill's okay. He's got 2 touchdowns on the year, 5 interceptions, going up against a Baltimore team that I really think has a decent defense. The issue with the Ravens is the offensive line. Lamar was getting nailed in the last game. He really didn't have a lot of time to pass back there, and it really threw off that offense. I do think the Ravens do a better job against this Tennessee Titans offensive line. I'm all over the Ravens on -4. I think we see a big game out of the Ravens and a comeback performance. Man in the back, let's keep it rolling. To my favorite play this week, I think a lot of people are going to be on this. Corey, I'll let you start. We have the 49ers. We kind of talked about it before the show, how good this 49er team is. They're playing at all levels of football. Special teams is clicking. Offense is clicking. Defense is clicking. And they may have the best coaching staff in football. What do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mentioned earlier in the open that this Niners team is the best team in the NFL, and it's not close right now. I know the Eagles are 5-0, but the Niners are a different type of 5-0. They dismantled the Cowboys Sunday night. Some think it's a letdown game for the Niners against the Browns. The problem is, though, that they can't have a letdown game because Philadelphia is 5-0, and they want to play for that number 1 seed in the NFC. Deshaun Watson, playing or not, to me, doesn't deter from taking the best team in the NFL and trusting my eyes against the Browns offense that hasn't done much this season, going up against a really good Niners defense, allowing less than 60 yards rushing on the ground. So I don't think Jerome Ford is going to have a big game. And I don't even know who's going to be the quarterback for the Browns right now. It seems like it might be Watson, but it's going to be interesting. I'm all over the Niners here, -6.5. I believe it actually just went up to 7 before we went on the air. I still like the Niners by a touchdown.
I still have it at 6.5, but I'm all over the Niners here. They are the best team in football right now, and they are dismantling everyone. They can do whatever they want on the field. On defense, they can blitz and drop into coverage. They can only rush 3 and drop into coverage still. And the Browns are probably going to be going with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Would you really throw in your injured quarterback in this game when you're probably not going to win it? He's going to take a lot of shots from that nasty San Francisco 49ers defense. And I think they're in big trouble if he plays or if he doesn't play. So I think the smart decision is to rest Watson here and try and get back at him in week 7. My play is definitely the 49ers here. As we keep saying, they've been dominating everyone. They've looked like the best team in football by far. We will see that yet again on Sunday. I'm all over the 49ers -6.5.
And Alpha, just a note real quick, PJ Walker was reportedly taking first-team snaps with Cleveland today. So
I did see
we'll
that
see
as
what
well,
happens.
Whoever's back there, as long as it's not Deshaun Watson, I really do think we see this game end by at least 10 points on the San Francisco side. But guys, quickly, we do want to let you know we are here because of SoBet, the Alpha Dog experience. Let us come to you guys every week. It's just $1 to join. Tap the link. Get over 50 handicappers plays for just $1 for the first month. I'm there. Corey's there. Like I said, over 50 handicappers. Come tap in and come have some fun with the SoBet crew. All right, let's keep it rolling. What's next on the slate? We have the Commanders and the Falcons. Corey, I don't know about you, but this Falcons team is hard to watch. Desmond Ridder really can't seem to get it going. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, it is hard to watch. I mean, they screwed me. I had the Texans money line last week. I thought Houston was going to take care of Atlanta, but Desmond Ridder, who didn't look like he was able to play in this league all up until this point, somehow led the Falcons down the field against a pretty solid Houston defense for a game-winning field goal. So, I don't really know, but I'm going to take the under in this one at 42. Washington is in a good bounce-back spot here after they were embarrassed by the Bears on Thursday Night Football, but over the last 20 games, Atlanta has hit the total over only 5 times. Meanwhile, Washington has hit the over in just 8 of their last 19 games. So that's a combined 13-39 record on the over. Atlanta loves to run the ball. They're a slower pace offense. They're not a quick striking offense, as we mentioned, with Desmond Ritter struggles. And also Washington struggles as well to score with big plays. Sam Howell, he's getting a lot of praise and whatnot. He's got a good connection with the tight end Logan Thomas, but this offense we saw against the Bears just struggled to get going offensively. So I think this is going to be a low scoring game. I like the under in this one.
I see it the exact same way you do, which is scaring me because we've seen a lot of the early games the same way. We're both either going to be really happy or really upset, but I definitely think this is an under here. Washington's offense can't really move the ball in the air. They're really a ground team. This is the battle of the Robinson running backs here. Bijan and Brian, the Falcons, we've seen what they've done all year long. They can't really seem to get the ball to Kyle Pitts. They can't really seem to get the ball to Drake London, and they're a run-dominant team. I think we see both these teams limit possessions and run the ball, which is going to kill the clock. Under 42, yet again, one of my favorite plays this week. Shout out Long Moneyball Larry saying he's watching on Twitter. We appreciate you tuning in, brother, as you do every week. Man in the back, what we got? Another fantastic barn burner. We have the Vikings. We have the Bears. Is Kirk Cousins going to be traded? Are they keeping him? Justin Jefferson is out. What's going on with this Vikings team? The Bears got a big win. Corey, what you got?
Yeah, this is more of a wait and see game for me. The weather is supposed to be not great in the Midwest all week. Chicago is getting pounded by rain from now until Sunday. It's also going to be pretty windy. So the books definitely have adjusted for the Jefferson injury and also the weather. But if the wind isn't going to be as strong, again, calling for some rain, 25-mile-an-hour winds, I like the over in this one. And you might be saying, well, whoa, why? No Justin Jefferson. But the Chicago's Bears defense is still one of the worst in the league. And I think they got a Washington team who, quite frankly, overlooked the Bears in that Thursday night game. Second half, the Commanders, when they had to put the foot on the gas, they were able to drive down the field with relative ease against the Bears. Justin Fields, is starting to look better. That connection with DJ Moore was unreal last week.
Unreal.
And again, the Vikings, no Justin Jefferson, but they still have Kirk Cousins, who likes to throw the football. They've got Addison, they've got Osborne, they've got TJ Hawkinson. The running game, it hasn't really been there, but Madison isn't terrible. Cam Akers is trying to get in the mix. I think that this total at 44.5 can soar over if the weather is not as bad as it seems to be. So I'm holding off on this one, but come game time, if the weather's looking pretty decent in Chicago, I might roll with the over.
I do like it. By the way, Corey, I know I didn't tell you that. I did just tweet that we are going to give our baseball picks for tonight out on the show. So there's a little more people in here that are going to be expecting that. So make sure you have that prepared. Going into this game, I think the injury report is a huge factor in this one. We all know the Vikings injuries, but in case you don't, there's even more than you expected. Jordan Addison, a true questionable. He has not been practicing. On the defensive side, Marcus Davenport's questionable. Both are huge players for this team. On the other side, you take a look at the Bears running back depth chart, and you look at the injury report. Every single running back that is a Chicago Bear is hurt. Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson, Travis Horner, they are all either doubtful or questionable. Who's going to run the ball for the Bears? Well, I can tell you it's going to be Justin Fields. I do think we're going to see a very similar approach that the Bears took. They're going to let Fields be dynamic, be the best player on the field, and create plays. I'm on the Bears here, plus 2.5. Not my favorite play, but I do think they get it done, and I do think they win this game. I think the Vikings are about to go in a full sell mode. They're going to get rid of Kirk. We say it every week on the show. Kirk Cousins is going to finish the season on the New York Jets. We've said that since week 1. We're going to keep saying it. I really think it's going to happen, and this loss is really going to put a dent in the Vikings season. Let's keep it moving. Man in the back, what we got? We have the Seahawks. We have the Bengals. Corey, what do you think? Bengals played a little bit better for a little bit, then they got worse again. Seahawks defenses look good all year. What do you think?
Yeah, they have. I think the Bengals offense got it going against the Cardinals, and it appears Joe Burrow might be getting healthier. He and the offense looked the best that unit has all season long. I know it was against the Cardinals, but seeing Joe Burrow airing it down the field was a very promising sign that he is feeling better with that calf injury. Jamar Chase, he's not lying. He is always open. I mean, he had a monster day, and I think he's going to be in store for another big day facing this poor secondary of the Seahawks. They have been able to bend but not break, but this passing defense has been a little bit of a sore subject here for the Seahawks. Seattle on offense, they're still moving the ball well with Geno Smith at QB. They struggle a bit on third downs, but have been solid converting and staying within second and short, second and medium. I think these two quarterbacks are going to end up cooking at some point in this one. I'm going to take the over, which is around 45.5 right now.
If I were to take a total, I would take the over, but I'm all over the Seahawks here, and I'm taking them on the money line at plus 130. They're going to win this game outright. That defensive front put up 10.5 sacks or 11 sacks against the Giants. Each week, they're looking better and better, and I do think that this Bengals offensive line is their Achilles heel. They can't block anyone. It's been clear all year long, and Burrow's been getting killed week in and week out. When he's banged up and not fully healthy and isn't really mobile, that's detrimental to this team. They need Joe Burrow to be able to roll out, make plays, and he cannot right now. And Seattle has the defense to keep him in the pocket, control the game, and win this outright. We've seen them win a lot of games by playing smart football, not turning the ball over, and just playing a good fundamental game. And I think we see that here. I'm all over the Seahawks, like I said, on the money line, plus 130. Man in the back, let's keep it moving. We are rolling. The Detroit Lions at the Tampa Bay Bucks. Corey, let me tell you something. I entered a Survivor League this year. 275 people. We're down to the final 30. I'm hyped. I put in the Lions last week. I'm like, we're going to win. No one's going to have the Lions. All 30 people had the Lions. So no one was eliminated, but the Lions did do me right. So I'm a fan of them right now. Corey, Lions, Bucks, what you thinking?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Lions this week. I know Tampa has some extra rest and more time to prep for this Detroit team who has been putting up some points. They played a bad Carolina team. They have been dealing with some injuries, but they are a team who wants to be taken seriously in this NFC. And another win to make it 4 in a row would help that cause. Jared Goff is doing a fine job at quarterback. David Montgomery is just running all over defenses. And Amon St. Brown practiced today, which is a great sign for the Lions offense as he missed last week due to injury. I just have a tough time buying that this Baker Mayfield-led Buccaneers offense is going to continue to be productive. This Lions defense is pretty solid. Aiden Hutchinson is an absolute beast. He made a crazy play last week. I'll take the Lions as a short road favorite -3.
Question for you. There's 3 teams that are the best cover teams in the NFL, all coming in at 4-1 ATS, 80%. Name them.
Detroit's
Name
one of them.
There you go. Detroit's one of them. Tampa, though, coming in, they are in the second position at 3-1, so they've been covering as well. But with this spread at only 3 points, I really do think the Lions are the play here. They look fantastic last week, and they look like they're growing week over week. They are getting better, and with Goff, he's leading the charge, and they're looking fantastic. All over the -3. It's not one of my best bets this week, but we're definitely having it on the card. Detroit -3. All right, man in the back, we have Corey's other favorite team because, as we say every week on the show, Corey is the only person in America allowed to be huge fans of 2 NFL teams. The other one he loves, the Philadelphia Eagles, taking on the Jets. What you got?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Eagles -7. This was a game at the beginning of the season I thought the Eagles could lose if Aaron Rodgers was playing well and the Jets were rolling. We obviously know that's not the case. The reason why I'm taking the Eagles with a bit of a bigger spread, I don't see how the Jets will run the ball effectively against this front 7 of the Eagles. They've got arguably the best defensive lineman, and he's only a rookie in Jalen Carter. He's, in my opinion, the odds-on favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year at the moment. The Jets also had their best O-lineman go down with a season-ending injury, so that's a big hole to fill for New York. And the passing game for the Jets, I mean, you're going to rely on Zach Wilson, who got praised for the way he played against Kansas City, great and all, but if the secondary from the Eagles from the second half of that Rams game last week shows up for the first half and for this whole game against Zach Wilson, I don't see how the Eagles don't win by more than 7. They were getting torched by the Rams in the first half, made some crazy kind of adjustments, and they shut out the Rams with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, who was running wild against them in the first half, and Puka Nacua. It was a huge turnaround, I think a huge confidence boost. And this Eagles offense, they are still scoring, although they're not scoring as efficiently as they were in the red zone. That's certainly a focus this week. Jake Elliott, the kicker, has more points than a couple of the bottom feeders in the NFL as a total. So I'm pretty sure that this Eagles team is just above and beyond this Jets team, even though they're going to have to go to MetLife. And then when the Eagles get this lead, they're taking a page out of Andy Reid's book. They are just eating clock. They can drive down the field with ground and pound attack with that O-line and eat up 8 minutes, so we don't have to worry about the backdoor cover. I'm going to take the Birds -7.
Well, everyone, if you listen to anything Corey just said, in one ear, out the other. We are all over the Jets in this spot. The Jets have been a cash cow for us this season, and they're just not getting any respect. Do I think the Jets are going to win this game? Absolutely not. But the Eagles have not been playing Philadelphia Eagle offensive football as they did the last couple of years. The offense does not look the same. Devontae Smith this week had, one catch for 5 yards? Teams are
Yeah,
figuring.
but A.J. Brown and Goddard had over 100 each.
They both did well, but the team is not as dynamic as they've been the last couple of years. The Jets are keeping every game close. We saw what they did with the Chiefs. We saw what they did this weekend. I am all over the Jets +7. We keep saying on this show as well, as long as Zach Wilson doesn't lose them the game, they're a pretty decent football team. Their defense is elite. Losing Elijah Vera Tucker, their best offensive lineman, is a big loss. But they have a really good rushing attack. They have a decent offensive line, and I think the Jets are one of the better teams in the NFL. Each week they keep proving it, and they're going to keep proving it here. Jets +7. This is one of my best bets for the week. Man in the back. Man in the back. New York Giants. Last week we weren't a primetime game. I didn't have to talk about it. I didn't have to bring it up. It was fantastic. This week, Sunday Night Football, we have to watch them in primetime. I'm not sure if you saw the most recent injury report that the Giants just put out. Let me pull this up. I have it in my text messages right here. Giants will be playing Sunday night without Daniel Jones, Darren Waller, Andrew Thomas, John Michael Schmitz, Wan'Dale Robinson, Azeez Ojulari, and Matt Pert. Those are all starters. Not one of those guys is not a starter. Your quarterback, your blindside tackle, your tight end, your center, your receiver, your outside linebacker, and another starting lineman against this Buffalo Bills football team. Corey, usually I send you my picks before the show so we can go over them, see if you like what I'm talking about. I left this one blank because the Buffalo Bills are going to beat the New York Giants by 977 points on Sunday night. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be Tyrod Taylor and Saquon Barkley. Right now, he's questionable. He's the only one not ruled out, but there's not a chance he plays in this game. We have no offensive line. He's injured. He's not going to go back there and take that beating. The Giants are going to rest all their key guys and lose by, like I said, 977 points. Man in the back, I'm sure you're smiling, but the Giants are the worst team in football right now. Corey, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I was going to tease this game and get that spread down to -7 for the Bills, but
Why?
I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to. If that injury report is legit and that's going to be official, I know Dable has been kind of playing some mind games.
It's official.
If Jones is out and Barkley's out, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath there. I think I would get a little spicy. Jack that spread up even more. Why not? Get it at some plus money. Buffalo at home, Orchard Park, the Bills.
Yeah, fuck it.
You're going to just pour it on. -21 alt line, -28 if you're feeling risky, but definitely -14 Bills.
Yeah, the Giants don't have a prayer in this game. Thanks for making me talk about it. Man in the back is excited. Let's move it on. We got one more game to go over this week. We got the Cowboys. We got the Chargers. Corey, the Cowboys just took an absolute beating the 49ers, 42-10. Team looked awful. Everything they said after the game seemed awful. Dak looked awful. And Micah Parsons going on, talking back to George Kittle, talking smack, saying, if we see you guys again. The only time they'd see each other again is in the Super Bowl. So it's kind of weak to call someone out and saying, we'll see you again. Maybe, but what do you think of this matchup between the Cowboys and the Chargers?
Yeah, I mean, I was laughing. Micah Parsons said that he didn't think that them and the Niners were that far apart. I was like, bro, did you see what happened to you and your defense on the field? I mean, America saw it. I mean, you guys are ions apart. I don't care how you dive it up. If they play 10 times this year, Niners are winning 9 out of 10 times in that series.
I agree.
But with Dallas and the Chargers, I like LA here as a home dog. I know a lot of people are saying that Dallas is in a good bounce back spot, but again, we talked about it in the open. Dak can't win meaningful games, and this is a pretty meaningful game for the Cowboys right now to stay pace in the NFC East division, to stay pace in the NFC playoff picture. The Chargers coming off a bye week, looking to get more rest and preparation against this Dallas offense that's struggling.
Wait. Before you go further, big news coming off this bye week. Austin Eckler is back for the Chargers. He will be playing Monday. That's a huge point in this game.
It absolutely is. And you got Van Der Esch out, the middle linebacker. So that's a hole in the linebacking core to help limit Eckler. I like the Chargers. Give me the points. I think Justin Herbert in this offense isn't going to have many problems moving the ball downfield.
Yeah, I see it the exact same way you do. I'm all over the Chargers here. They're fresh. They're coming off a bye, and they're getting a lot of people off the injury list. Derwin James has been banged up. He's gotten a couple of games off to get right. Eckler's been out since week 1. He's right. And Donald Parham's been injured, one of their good, bigger tight ends in the receiving game. He should be back. Cowboys are pretty banged up. They're going to be missing a couple corners, and they should be missing Leighton Vander Esch, which, by the way, he looks just like Bill Romanowski on the field. He's got the pad up. He's making every tackle. Leighton Vander Esch is absolutely a player. But in this game, I'm all over the Chargers, +3, buying the hook, getting it at -120. Corey, it's about that time. We're going to dive right into our best bets, our top 3 plays of the week. Corey, I like the little head thing you're doing. With that head thing
We
going,
need some like game show music,
right?
you know,
With the
like
head,
Price is Right.
Price is Right game show music.
We'll
Give them
get
your
Man
top
in the
picks.
back to find something
We'll have to get
next week.
Yeah, man in the back. Be all over that. Corey, give us your top 3, brother.
Yeah, my top 3, Niners -6.5. I'm hammering the Bills -14. And I like the over in that Baltimore-Tennessee game. I just think that these two offenses are looking to bounce back after tough performances where they left a lot of opportunities on the field. They don't like each other, but again, there's opportunities for both offenses to score, and that number is pretty low. So those are my top 3 plays. How
Before
about
you go further, give me a play tonight. Astros, Twins, or Dodgers, D-backs?
Ooh, I will go Astros Twins.
Which game?
Man, it's tough. It's a good pitching matchup. I like Joe Ryan. He was really solid this year for Minnesota, but I might go with the over. I feel like that's just it's been a high scoring series. I don't know if I can back the Twins back against the wall at home. I get it, but it's the Houston team. Much to our chagrin, Alpha, we're 2 Yankee fans and have to see Houston once again be 1 win away from making it to the ALCS. I'm going to go with the over and hope that the Twins win.
Yep, I like that. I like it. Let's dive into our top 3. Apologies. Someone just tagged me in something and said, go Braves. Thought we took the lead, and we did not. Thanks a lot for scaring me, guy. Anyway, let's go into our top 3. 49ers -6.5, my favorite play this week. Second best bet's going to be the Jets, +7. Third and final, Seahawks on the money line, +130. Had to give you guys a big dog. For my MLB tonight, I am all over the Astros at +110 on the money line, and I'm also taking Lance Lynn and the Dodgers on the money line at -125 as well. So those are our picks and this week's show. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back Wednesday, October 18th. Man in the back says it's Cheeseburger Lynn. Stop interrupting me in my exit. Guys, you want to tap in with us. All our plays are on SoBet. It's $1 to join for the first month. You cannot beat a better deal than that. Come tap in, win with us, and let's have some